welcome to the 5th chapter of our ChatGPT course. Now, you've made it so far already, and in this chapter, we're going to be going through how you can make money with ChatGPT. So we've gone through how we use it, we've gone through an introduction, explained a bunch of the use cases, but now, how do we put those use cases to generate revenue through ChatGPT? So now there are a couple ways that I'm going to go through. Obviously, this doesn't cover everything, but also ChatGPT is super new. So there are going to be so many more opportunities coming up as we move along and as this technology progresses, improves, and develops. Now, the first and one of the most self-explanatory ways of generating revenue with ChatGPT is copywriting. There are so many opportunities for those wanting to generate content for their social media platforms, for blogs, things like that. And so you can jump onto platforms like Fiverr, Airtasker Freelancer, and find those opportunities. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, doesn't that mean that anyone can jump into ChatGPT and generate the content themselves? Now, while it does mean that they can, a lot of people don't have the time, but also haven't mastered the art of prompt engineering. Now, what I would recommend is identifying what type of copywriting you would like to do. Now, whether that's for social media, writing blog posts, or even website content, find one of those niches, hone in on that, and generate a few examples that you can show potential clients. So when you reach out to people on Airtasker, Fiverr, or even Freelancer, you'll be able to provide them with examples of things that you can produce and therefore give you a higher chance of being accepted and winning the bid for those projects. Now, copywriting is high in demand, so you will find a lot of opportunities online. And if you pick up a few jobs, you can take this from being a side hustle to really a primary source of income if you put in the effort. Similarly, another point that I've got down here is writing content for businesses. Now, while that's similar to copywriting jobs you would more find as single projects. But if you manage to land yourself a contract with a business or a company, you can be generating their content on a monthly basis and generating revenue upwards of $3,000 a month. I do also want to run you through my example structure as to how I would do this for a website or for a client. What I would do is I would start up a few different chats depending on the content that I want to generate. So if I'm making their blog posts, their website content, and their social media content, I would start up 3 different chats in ChatGPT, and in each one of those, I would provide the context to the company. So I would just copy and paste that bit of context, explain what the company's about, I'd explain what their values and their mission statement is, and I would copy and paste that into a few different chats. So what I would do is I would create a bunch of chats, one saying website content, the other one social media content, and I can have one that says blog posts. And what that does is allow me to organize the content that I'm creating for this specific business. Now, of course, if you have a bunch of projects or different companies you're working for, you might also want to organize the different chats for that company, because then you've got the context saved in each one of those chats. So I would set that up and then be able to say, generate hero content for my baby toy website. And it'll go ahead and write that for you. So it'll give you a few ideas, and obviously you can take this. What I like to do is I like to copy and paste the responses into a Google Doc, and I organize those responses there instead of in ChatGPT. But I also do like keeping the ChatGPT conversations so that it has the context for the next time I go to use it.